5 ways that you are blocking your blessings from entering your life. I'm gonna answer this in 5 words and then let's get deeper into it. So the 5 things blocking you from your blessings are lack, fear, anger, sadness, and guilt. Let's get into it. So number 1 is lack, the mentality that I don't have enough. Now, I want to point out there is actually a positive lack and a negative lack. And the truth is we should always want things. We should always be striving to receive more in life, to get more out of life. But it becomes an issue when we focus on what we do not have already. If we're putting all of our focus on, I don't have, so I want more, that's when you're completely blurring out everything you have. So everything you will ever receive will always feel like it's not enough. When you focus on what you don't have, like I don't have enough, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have enough money, when you focus on what you don't have, you are completely disconnecting and neglecting what you do have. So no matter what you receive in life, if you have a mentality that I don't have enough, it's a continuous cycle. So the only way that we can overcome lack mentality, to allow more into our life, to allow blessings to flow in, is by appreciation, by gratitude. To appreciate everything that we currently do have in our lives. And it doesn't have to be just physical things, our family, our friends, the roof above our head, everything that and anything that you can be grateful for, be grateful for it, and you can ask for more. So you can be grateful for everything you have and appreciative and really acknowledge that you have so much and focus on what you do have while simultaneously wanting more. And that is the perfect combination, being content and happy and completely grateful for everything you have and still desiring more without that lack, that need for more because you feel like you have nothing. So that's the difference between the two, is feeling like I have nothing, so I need something to fill my lack, to fill my void, versus I have everything I need, I'm perfectly content, but having more would be so nice. I'm gonna strive towards that. Number 2 is fear. Now this one sounds kind of obvious. Obviously, if I'm in fear, I'm scared and I'm not happy and I'm not getting blessings. Yes. But it's important to know that actually 99% of our fears are illusions that we make up in our mind. And when we're fearful of something, we're not thinking about the present moment, we're thinking about the future, a future outcome that has never occurred yet. So we're really just fearing our own mind's idea that we're creating in our mind of what could potentially happen in the future. And most fears are illogical fears, and I have numerous videos about fear. I will link that above so you can check that out. But if we want happiness and we want to attract blessings, we need to focus on what's happening right now. So practice being present, because otherwise we will always be living in an imaginary future. Now, the third thing that is blocking us from our blessings is anger. Now, this one is a huge one. I cannot tell you enough how important this one is to eliminate from our lives. When anger comes to us, and it comes to us all, what happens is it overcomes us. It overcomes you to the point where it's not even you anymore. Anger is such a strong negative energy, and anger is the complete opposite of the soul energy consciousness that we are all striving for or want to get to if we want to align to a place where we can attract blessings into our lives. And honestly, we all get anger, but we need to understand, first of all, that it's not us, but that when we notice that it's coming about, we need to recognize it and stop it immediately. We need to immediately catch ourselves when we feel like we're going into anger. And most importantly, we cannot react in that state. If we are feeling anger, do not react, because anger is a very powerful force. But we need to consider in that moment when it's overcoming us that we may not be seeing the full story right now. That what I say in this moment, whatever you say in anger, it can never be taken back. whatever is done in that pure anger, negative space, it's out there, it's done. So what you want to do is when you're feeling that anger, to wait 5 minutes, wait 10 minutes, wait for that initial anger rush to leave your body, and notice how differently you would react in that situation. How differently would you talk to someone? How differently would you handle a situation? If you make any decisions in that place of anger, it's going to result in a manifestation of complete chaos in your life. There is nothing good that can come out of you acting out of anger other than that instant gratification that you feel when you're speaking out of anger. You get a rush. If we want to connect to blessings in our life, then we need to act as if. And acting as if is acting with love. When you act out of anger, you have to understand it's the complete opposite of love, first of all, but it's also taking us away from that soul energy, from that pure loving energy. So it's okay to feel it, recognize it, understand it, and accept that it's there, but don't let yourself react. Catch yourself, get yourself out of it, and react when you're not in a state of anger. Speak to the person when the fight is over, the next day when you're cooled down. Don't react out of anger. And our goal in this life is not just to connect to our body consciousness. We also want to connect the spiritual world, which is here and now, but we just need to connect with it. And how we connect with it is by embodying more love into our life. Take your power back and understand that yes, you can feel it. It's a completely normal thing to feel, but don't let it overcome you. And just keep in mind, just remember that when you're feeling anger, that it's not you, and you don't want to let any other force speak on your behalf. So the next one is sadness. Now, of course, this one also seems very obvious, but here's the thing. We all feel sadness. We all have situations in our life that cause sadness. And it's not an issue to feel sadness. In fact, it's very important to be empathetic, to be compassionate, and to feel emotions. It shows emotional intelligence when we allow ourselves to feel sadness. But when it becomes an issue is when we prolong its stay. When we sit in it longer than it needs to be in our lives. When you're in sadness and you continue to feed the sadness, it will continue to grow. That's going to be a huge blockage from you receiving the blessings that you want to receive. So let's take it upon ourselves to do the internal work, push it away, to tell it no, I don't want you here. If something sad happens in your life, 100% allow yourself to feel that sadness, because it's coming to you for a reason. There are reasons that we have these emotions. We need to work through them. So allow yourself to feel it, but don't allow it to overcome everything else that is good in your life. Don't let it completely block your vision for too long so that you blur out everything good that's ever happened to you. We just don't want that sadness to be our dominant energy, because remember, our dominant energy creates our vibration. And if we're in a low vibrational state at all times, then there's no way that we're gonna attract blessings into our life. Blessings can only come to things that are aligned with it. So in order for us to tap into that energy, we need to be on a high level frequency. If we're feeling sadness and that's our dominant thought all the time, then it's gonna be a very hard time to connect to blessings. We need to constantly work on getting ourselves out of that sadness, doing whatever it takes to get you out of that state as quick as possible, so you're not prolonging your stay. So the next one I got is guilt. If you take anything from this video, take this one, because this feeling of guilt is the number one thing that is going to be blocking you from reaching your blessings. Because what guilt does is it deletes your progress. The biggest test will come once you accept the responsibility and leave out the guilt. Now, all of these above qualities are all very normal human feelings and experiences. It's okay to initially feel these things. But then when guilt comes in, that's when it becomes worse. That's when we prolong our stay. That's when we go deeper and deeper into all of these qualities. To get ourselves out of it, That's the true test. And what keeps us there is the guilt, is the mindset that I've already done it, so I might as well push myself deeper into this rabbit hole. We think that if we mess up once, we should just keep messing up and keep going. And it's just this vicious cycle. And guilt is the one that's keeping us in that negative space for so much longer than we need to be. Those are the 5 key things that are blocking your blessings. So if you're feeling like, I'm doing everything right, what's going on? Keep in mind that these emotions are all gonna happen. It's just about your bounce back rate. How quickly are you gonna pull yourself out of it so that you can tap into the high vibrational state where you can align to receive more blessings in your life and just lead a happier, more fulfilling life overall. Okay, that's all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.